this was like unimaginably racist a couple days ago. I didn't even cover it. People who speak like this should not be getting platformed on CNN, man. What the hell? Like, you know, this is not spirited discourse at this point. And Abby Phillips is like, Abby Phillips is black. She's the host of the show. This conversation was so insane, dude.
Have you looked at some of the things that are being reviewed?
Yeah, slavery was a bad thing that was to talk about.
Okay.
Like,
he's not whitewashing slavery. So
he's not?
He's not. No,
okay.
he's not. And you cannot tie imperialism and racism and slavery to just one race, which is pretty much what every single exhibit does. But let's talk about the fact.
What the? Wait, who was like, what? Is she doing the Jews did the transatlantic slave trade thing or something? Like, what is she trying to say? Hold up. What do you mean? If we're talking about the transatlantic slave trade specifically as a formative part of American history, yeah, it was the white people. Like, what? Like, overwhelmingly, by and large, it's an American museum talking about African American history. Yeah, they're going to talk about Americans who did slavery. Hasan, please just stop. You sound stupid. Yes, you are right. I am the one who sounds stupid here.
And slavery to just one race, which is pretty much what every single exhibit does. But let's talk about the fact that when you
anti-slavery,
let's talk about the fact
that slavery in America was.
Do you realize that only less than 2% of white Americans owned slaves?
But it was a system of white supremacy.
You know,
I can't believe we got Richie Torres coming in hot here. That's like such an objectively insane statement to make. What do you mean less than 2% of white people? Okay. No, she says black people also had slaves. Oh my God. Insane.
Owned slaves.
But it was a system of white supremacy.
You realize that slavery is thousands of years old?
White people were
Do you know
the slave
who
owners.
was the first race to try to end slavery?
Wait a second.
Slavery is 1,000 years old. Okay. And America is the first country to end slavery. Not correct. So much so that the tiny sliver of people that own slaves literally fought to preserve that that system. So that's the reason why there was a war fought to end that system. Okay. Other countries were like, yeah, we should move away from this. America was like, nope. So much so that there's an entire now woke national holiday called Juneteenth where slavers literally escaped to Texas and we're just like, let's just keep it going. Maybe they won't notice. There is a separate holiday, separate now national holiday for the additional liberation of slaves that took place after the abolition of slavery in this goddamn country.
Thousands of years old.
White people were
Do you know
the slave
who
owners.
was the first race to try to end slavery?
The first race to try to end slavery. Yeah, I know her ass is not talking about the good Reverend John Brown, okay? I know she's not talking about that.
Okay, well, what's controversial?
This is such a Trumpian thing, too, to be like, white people preserved it, maintained it, and they enslaved black people. It is different from other forms of slavery because of how unimaginably cruel the practices were and how it was defined by a genetic, the ancestry, the notion that black people were inferior and not human and simply cattle. The practices were so ruthless, and the people actively defended it and fought and died to continue the maintenance of this system. And in 2025, you still have people going, well, white people ended slavery. That is crazy, man. She's taking credit for all white people right now. That's kind of epic. Yeah, we started it, but we also tried to end it is a hilarious thing to say. That's why I said it's a Trump route. Yeah, I broke it, but I could continue breaking it. But here I am, no longer breaking it. Shouldn't you actually appreciate me for that? Israel could do a much worse version of the genocide that it's currently doing if it wanted to. Shouldn't you praise Israel for not doing the an even worse version of the genocide that it's doing? It's always the same.
Very surprised
this is
that
an
you're trying to
extraordinary exercise in historical revisionism.
I'm really surprised.
Do you realize that
Jillian, I'm surprised that you're trying to litigate who was the beneficiary of slavery and who was not.
Yeah, it's like, hey, excuse me. How about you offer some praise to the good man Adolf Hitler? After all, he was responsible for killing Adolf Hitler. That's the type of argument she's making here. Okay? It's crazy. What do you mean? The is this? What are we doing? This is on CNN, bro. This is not Fox News. I feel like a decade ago, this would be the outlier on a Fox News panel. And even would have other Fox News hosts be like, okay, maybe that's a bridge too far. You're saying the quiet part out loud. We're not supposed to say that.
What I'm trying to tell you is
that in the context of American history, in the context of American history, what are you saying is incorrect by saying that it was white people oppressing black people?
Every single thing is like, oh, no, this is all because white people bad. And that's just not the truth. Like, for example, every single exhibit, I have a list of every single one. Like, people migrated from Cuba because white people bad. Not because of...
What?
Yes, no, it's in there. That's what I'm saying. You don't actually know what's in there. Do you know that when you walk in the front door, the first thing you see is the gay flag?
And then she moves on to the first thing you see is the gay flag. Isn't this the fitness lady? I don't know what the her deal is. She just seems like a ginormous racist. Kind of like yesterday's skinny talk lady. She looks like she would hate Obama.
Incorrect.
She has the look of a white lady who would just hate Obama. And I'm not talking about like decent reasons to criticize Barack Obama, like extrajudicial killings of people by drone strike. I'm talking the bad reasons to hate Obama. You know what I mean? Jillian Michaels would do better for the world if she just continued giving people 2000 style body dysmorphia and forcing them to do caffeine pills. She got famous for being a trainer on the reality TV show The Biggest Loser. Ugh. She's been on a right-wing grift for a while, but they just released a Netflix doc about how awful she is, and now she's leaning into the grift extra hard. She's literally gay? Wait, what? You're like, I hate the pride flag. Just read in the Free Press. Oh, there you go. That's enough for me. I don't need to read the rest of it. When someone says, just read this in the Free Press, I'm like, yeah, you're done. I'm not interested. It's like saying, I just watched a PragerU video that was enlightening. No, it wasn't. You're a moron. She has a black daughter? Stop! Jillian Michaels talking crazy on CNN while being the mother to a black daughter is rich but not surprising. There's a lot more that could be said, but God help the child.
What happened to your face, man? Look at my kid's face. He's got a scar like Bruce Lee in Enter the Dragon. What the hell's going on at this school?
A kid hit him. Another kid hit him.
As though I don't have enough going on.
Dude, why do racists do this it's so weird, bro. This is as common as like white ladies claiming indigenous ancestry. White people love being racist monsters while simultaneously adopting black children. I don't know what it is. I just don't understand like where it comes from in their brain. It's the same It's like, dude, Michael Penis has an adopted black son. Did you got when I found out it blew my fucking mind. It was she who told me about it. Remember? Mike Johnson has an adopted black son. Laura Ingraham has adopted children from like El Salvador. Laura Ingraham. Sig Heiling every night at Fox News doing the Ingraham angle, okay? The angles, when you look at it, the swastika. She has adopted children from like Guatemala and El Salvador. It's very strange. It's a very strange thing. I don't understand it. They're like, I'm so racist, I want to up the life and existence of like a literal black person or a person from like any number of different countries that I'm like actively advocating to destroy. There's nothing inherently wrong with transracial adoption, but there's this whole thing, especially among evangelicals, where they're basically doing white man's burden, where they have to take in the poor black and brown children and make them enlightened. Yeah, I think that's what it is, right? Because like, to me, when I see stuff like that, it doesn't automatically mean, unless someone is like straight up a racist person, I'm not going to immediately assume there's like some weird shit going on. Like it's all right, you know. Like I'm not an advocate for like no transracial adoptions or something, whatever. But I have seen a weird amount of people that that have truly takes about black and brown people who have then turned around and adopted black and brown children. And it is strange. The number she used of 2% is a misrepresentation of the population of slave owners because they're only counting landowning white men rather than the whole household that would take advantage of those slaves, not to mention that one white man could own hundreds of slaves. The fact that no one on that panel pushed back efficiently is disgusting. Yeah, there's that too. What is it? I think it comes down to like 25% of the population, right? Also, it doesn't even matter because they fought. They fought to preserve it. The South in its entirety fought to preserve it. What are we talking about? 32%. That's just a lie. It was 0.3%. Oh, 2% if you include the North, 20 to 25% if you focus on the South. And, you know, damn near 100% of white people still benefited from it in the racial hierarchy that existed in the South. And an overwhelming majority of them fought to preserve this system. And a decent chunk of them still fought to prop up the same racial pecking order in the South in the Reconstruction period that they successfully undermined and destroyed. Like, why the are there so many racialized disparities in this country to this day? Even the abolition of slavery still has an allowance for slavery through the prison system. It's in our laws. Slavery as a mechanism of punishment is still very much constitutionally A-OK. Do you ever stop talking about race or slavery? Yeah, all the time, dumb. It just happens to be that this is the point that they are bringing up. Why does it frustrate you so much that I'm doing pushback to people who are like, yeah, let's just like forget about slavery. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. God damn, dude. People are so gross. I don't see the point, though. Why is this even a topic of discussion? Slavery happened. The black were oppressed and the whites were the oppressors. What is this obsession on the slave owner's skin color? On God, I don't understand. Americans. The focus on it comes from the fact that people want to literally whitewash incredibly damaging aspects of American history because it all goes back to the assumption that black people are in their positions in American society, in contemporary American society, because of their genetic inferiority rather than because of, again, an accurate history, an understanding of the historical events that unfolded and the continued racial dominance that exists in this nation. If you don't learn the lessons of the past, you are doomed to repeat them.